Now, I've been paying a close attention to Jeff St. James, all his interviews and stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, he makes a whole lot of sense too, contrary contrary to belief. You got a therapist here that's more than willing to talk about men's issues, more than willing to come up with solutions to those men's issues. And yet somehow, for some ridiculous, retarded fuck ass reason, you got a lot of retarded fucks out here who has a problem, with Jeff St. James. Some of those reasons are just straight up retarded as fuck. No introduction required. Y'all see the topic of this video. Why do they fear Jeff St. James? And yes, y'all heard me. They fear Jeff St. James. You got the feminists mad because not only is he standing up for men and coming up with solutions for men, but he's not falling in line with the rest of these therapists that these feminists believe should act. How can I say this? He ain't like the rest of these therapists that don't give a damn about men. He cares, and they don't like it. You got others that don't like. You got others that fear Jeff St. James because they believe, oh, he's going to be the next Kevin Samuels. And which that don't make no fuck. That shit don't make no goddamn sense. And for the record, how does anyone know for a fact that Jeff St. James is trying to be the next Kevin Samuels? I don't get that part. A lot of people don't get that shit. Maybe Jeff St. James is trying to be Jeff St. James. Some of these retarded fucks fear him so bad that they gotta go look up information, trying to see what dirt they could bring up about him. And here's the irony: Jeff St. James is a therapist, and for some of these retarded fucks, these are the same dumbasses that want to jump up and say, "Oh, you men need to go seek mental help. You men need to go seek therapy." But now that there's a therapist who actually cares about men's issues and is more than willing to talk about the things others want to keep taboo, oh, now they got a problem with this therapist. God damn it, you can't make this shit up. But what is Jeff St. James is saying that is not true? I couldn't find a single issue that he talked about that isn't true at all. And that's just my honest opinion. So I thought to myself, so I'm sitting back, Uncle JD's thinking to himself, what is the reason why they fear Jeff St. James? Could it be that he's going against their narrative? Or could it be, no, oh, but wait, or could it be that he's not falling in line with what they believe in? Could it be that they trying to look for Kevin Samuels in Jeff St. James, which why I said it can never happen. Or could it be they fear him because he's actually trying to find solutions for men. And some of these retarded fucks who has a problem with Kevin St. James, while he's bringing up solutions, these would be the same retarded fucks who think censorship is a fucking solution. In which, let me just go ahead and say this to all the sensitive, emotional, pro-censorship crybabies out here. Censorship does not fucking work. And whoa. Before you get in your goddamn feelings, let's take a look at this, shall we? The failures of censorship.
Got it. If you're saying the failures of censorship, here's a straight up breakdown of what that usually refers to. Failures of censorship. These are times when censorship doesn't achieve its intended purpose or backfires entirely. 1. The Streisand effect. Trying to suppress information often draws more attention to it. Open quote. Example, a government bans a video and suddenly it goes viral internationally. Close quote. Herd 2. Underground movements grow stronger. Suppressing voices doesn't silence them, it drives them underground, where they often become more extreme or organized. Open quote, think band, political groups, or music scenes. Close quote. 3. Loss of trust in institutions. When people realize certain topics are being censored, it erodes public trust in media, government, or platforms. Open quote, what else are they hiding becomes the dominant thought. Close quote. 4. Censorship doesn't stop the harm it claims to prevent. Sometimes things are censored to prevent harm, but the harm still happens anyway because root causes aren't addressed. Open quote. Example, banning a book instead of addressing the social issue it exposes.
Now let me stop ChatGPT right here, because this is something that has to be hit hard. To all you retarded fucks out there that think censorship is a solution, guess what? Censorship doesn't stop the harm it claims to prevent. And in some cases, censorship only escalates and make matters worse than it was. But what did Uncle JD said? Using censorship as a solution is like taking cough syrup to cure the common cold. Yes, the cough may be suppressed, but what about the sneezy, itchy, runny nose, congestion, headache, and fever? Oh, wait, cough syrup does not treat those symptoms. Nope, it doesn't. And sooner or later, that suppressed cough will come right back. Isn't that what Uncle JD constantly stated? Yeah, I did. But let's continue.
Quote. #5. Cultural and intellectual stagnation. Suppressing controversial art, ideas, or debate often kills innovation. Open quote. Societies that over-censor usually fall behind in creativity and scientific progress. Close quote. 6. Weaponized censorship. Censorship can be misused to silence dissent, protect power, or push propaganda. When this gets exposed, it discredits the whole system. If you're making a broader point, like how modern censorship online, in politics, or in media is failing to stop what it claims to, you're not alone. Many argue that censorship today masks deeper issues instead of fixing them. Want me to tie this into a quote, example, or a visual?
Come on. And that's a fact. But before I go back to the matter at hand, let's go back and review. Now, I already talked about number 4. Let's talk about the others. Now, of course, number one, I always bring up the Streisand effect. We basically trying to stop, but they're trying to suppress information, but in the end, it draws more attention to it. I want, and fellas, think back. from CBS from CBS News giving out that hit piece of if you see something, say something, and there are issues with these male spaces. What happened? It didn't stop them. Not only didn't stop these male spaces, but guess what happened? More people, more people looked into it. More people got involved. And this is what I mean by the Streisand effect. And I constantly talked about this. In fact, don't take my word for it. I'll put the link to that video in the comments section. But let's go on. Number 2, underground movements grow stronger. And one thing I always learned, when something gets pushed underground or to other places, guess what? That ain't stopping them. In fact, they could go stronger and be more relevant. In the worst case scenario, if that happens, then there ain't shit they can do to stop it. And believe me, I could give all these retarded fucks a goddamn history lesson and then ask them how come the problems y'all thought were gone still persist to this very day. Then yeah, go on and marinate on that. Number 3, loss of trust in institutions. And we see this constantly. You got these biased media outlets wondering why people trust content creators on YouTube giving out the news more than their corporate asses. And believe me, I talked about this shit before. I already talked about number 4, so let's move on ahead. Number 5, cultural and intellectual stagnation. And people wonder why the US is not the top countries compared to all countries on that list. And yes, anybody's wondering why the US ain't number 1. Nope. US is not the number 1 country in the world. In fact, the US is not even the top 5 nor 10. It's not even part of the top 5 nor part of the top 10 countries of the world. I wonder why. And finally, number 6. No, I'm going to let y'all read number 6. Weaponized censorship. I believe Tom MacDonald said it best. Censorship's an issue because they choose who they erase. There's a big difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. And it's not just that either. Look at the emphasis on some of the words. Censorship can be misused to silence, dissent, protect power, or the very last one, or push propaganda. And what do we see? From that Netflix series Adolescence to CNN to The Vice to CBS to all these woke anti-male commercials, all these retarded fucks pushing fear-mongering propaganda is weaponized censorship. They're trying to use censorship as a weapon to silence their opposition. And they wonder why it never works. But I digress. Let's get back to the main topic at hand. Yeah, let's get back to why they fear Jeff St. James. And the and one of my final reason to why they fear Jeff St. James is simple. They don't know. They don't know why they fear this man, besides what they believe this man's going to turn out to be. Or why he's not going along to get along, or why they believe he's going to be he's going to take the place of another man, which is impossible. But by the end of the day, they don't know. They don't know why they fear Jeff St. James. That is the problem. Oh yeah, it's a real big problem. But all I can say is this. As for Jeff St. James, do you, brother? As long as you coming up, as long as you bringing solutions to the table, calling out the issues for what it is, not how they like it to be, it doesn't matter what these retarded fucks think, and that's a fact. But with that, I said what I had to say. I'm done, and I'm out this bitch. Later.